So you want to know the story about how I got to meet some of the awesome Sesame Street and Muppet puppeteers? Well, stay tuned. So, as I mentioned in the previous video, I used to be a child actor between the years of 2005 all the way up until 2015. If you'd like to know more about that and the time I actually worked on the Jim Henson Show, I suggest you check out the video right here on the screen. I think you'll enjoy that. I used to be with a big talent agency called CESD. The talent agency has been a representative for multiple stars and famous people like Miley Cyrus, Beyonce, a few Disney Channel stars, multiples of talented people. Because of the agency being so big, they have different departments that handle different things and aspects of one's career. They have one for model and print, voiceover, TV and film, and then commercials. There are also several other departments that the agency has that I didn't even know about. One of them being a puppetry department, meaning they represent multiple puppeteers and performers, and that not being limited to Jim Henson and Sesame Street. At the time, I was still going on auditions for TV and commercials, and at that time, I was also developing my passion on wanting to become a full-time professional puppeteer. And when I wasn't going out on auditions, I was kind of doing off-the-cuff stuff, like taking my Gonzo Muppet replica to Disneyland, which is another video that you can see right here. I just created my own original character, Sam the Ham, along with multiple other original characters for me to create and perform on YouTube. The more and more I researched about puppetry and the art form and the world of it, I gained respect and actually started becoming a fan of Sesame Street puppeteers and Muppet performers alike. Definitely in my young mind, looking to aspire to be like them one day. So I contacted the puppetry department of my agency and asked them, would it be possible if they can get me a meeting or some type of setup with Kevin Clash and several other Sesame Street performers. The head person at the time of the puppetry department in my agency said that could be a possibility, but what they needed on my behalf was to make a little YouTube video explaining my passion for puppetry, some of the characters that I created, how this whole thing got started, and why I would love to meet some of the Sesame Street and Muppet performers, but most importantly, Kevin Clash, who used to voice and puppeteer Elmo.
I want to be a Muppeteer for so many reasons, and I also want to be an actor. And hey Kevin, nice to meet you. They're made out of fleece. They're out of foam rubber. And this is Sam. Hey you. This is a puppet. Hello, my friend. My name is Alipper. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Kevin. And the reason why I want to do it is just because I love the performance. I love the entertainment. I love puppetry, and I think it's cool. It's awesome. I love how you could take a ball of foam or a ball of something or a block, and you make it into this kind of character that bounces around.
Looking back on this video brought so many memories. I can't believe I was 15 years old and I still sounded like Mickey Mouse. My agency loved it, and they told me if they heard anything back from Kevin or Sesame Street, they'd let me know. Within the next 2 weeks, I got a response back and told me that Kevin and his team had loved the video and they really wanted to meet me. I was also told that I could bring any puppets of my own choosing, from my own original characters to my Gonzo replica puppet. Greetings everyone, Great Gonzo here. If you're wondering why my Gonzo replica is dressed like this, it's a good explanation. You can actually go check out the video on the screen where I actually created my very own Gonzo Charles Dickens costume out of everything from a thrift store. I was told by my agency in an email that actually I was going to be given the opportunity to not only meet Kevin, but several of the other well-known Sesame Street performers, because they would actually be flying out here to LA to film a couple of segments called Sesame Street Celebs, where pretty much each of the Sesame Street characters would do a bit or teach the audience a new word or a meaning of a word with the help of a Sesame Street character right next to the side of that celebrity. My parents and I were asked to head out to one of the studios during one of the days that they would be filming these segments. We entered into the studio. There was like a little lobby waiting room area where you can actually see like a screen monitor of what they were filming for the day. I couldn't connect the dots that what I was seeing on the TV right then and there and what I had grown up with all this time was actually on the other side of the room. My family and I were asked to then go through the door to say hello to everybody. I remember first meeting Kevin and being kind of starstruck, but shaking his hand and saying, "Hi, I'm Justin." And he said, "Yeah man, I know you. I've seen the video." As I turned to my left, there was Matt Vogel, who is now the puppeteer performer of Kermit and multiple other Muppet characters and Sesame Street characters alike. And I remember shaking his hand, also being starstruck. There being Leslie Carr Rudolph, who voices and puppeteers Abby Cadabby, along with several other famous Sesame Street characters. And right behind her was, at the time, Joey Mazzarino, who's a very well-known Sesame Street performer and Muppet performer as well. And there he was with Murray, kind of joking and messing with me. They all were super nice, super kind and amazing. Kevin said, "Hey, I got a seat right here for you. I would like you to sit right here and watch us as we just do the do." So I got to sit on a small little black stool right next to the set, just a feet away from me, performing these characters. I remember just being in awe watching Elmo, the character that I grew up with as a child, not knowing one day I would actually be in front of and see the real thing being performed in front of me. Kevin, along with everybody else, showed me how they perform in front of the monitor, how the monitor is like a mirror, how if you go to the right, it's going to be left of what the camera sees. If you go to the left, it's going to be right of what the camera sees. So it's a mirror, it's like opposite day, and you have to get used to that as you perform. It was so cool seeing up close like the Anything Muppets, which are background characters in the Sesame Street universe, how each character was a different size or shape or whatever. Know how to position the character for the monitor so you wouldn't see the rest of their sleeve or a shoulder or anything like that, because of course they were all below the monitor. Along with that, behind me was a catering table. It wasn't a catering table. Long sets of tables in between that had a full stock of multiple Elmos, Murrays, and every other character that you can think of. Elmo had a piece of lint on his nose that just wouldn't come off. So Kevin immediately threw to the puppet wrangler an Elmo. The puppet wrangler caught it, gave him another Elmo that had no lint on his nose. There were multiple other Elmos that were dressed in certain costumes, in different segments that were needed for that day. And it made me realize that, yeah, that would be time consuming to have to sit there and change the same Elmo puppet into a different outfit, but you could just make multiples and have multiples dressed differently for those different segments. Also, while I'm sitting under the learning tree watching Kevin, Matt, Joey, and Leslie, multiple celebrities and famous people alike are coming in and out of the studio. People like Common, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Maya Rudolph, Troy
Polamalu is our guest right now.
That last name. Multiple others. During a little brief intermission, I had Gonzo, and I actually had the privilege to perform for Sarah Michelle Gellar's daughter at the time, and it was such a cool experience. Of course, with being on the set, I wanted to show a lot of professionalism. Unfortunately, I didn't ask any celebrities for a picture because I felt like that wasn't the time or the place. I'm there to be an aspiring puppeteer and learn from the best. Once again, this is a God-given experience. It's a blessing. I then was asked in a certain point of the visit to come closer to actually join them in puppeteering one of the characters. I actually got to puppeteer the right or left hand of Murray, which was the coolest thing ever. That's actually me in the Gonzo t-shirt next to Joey while Kevin's puppeteering Elmo, and Matt's kind of guiding me and pointing me where I need to look on the monitor to make sure the hand is matching Joey's mannerisms. You're probably thinking, Justin, what's the big deal? You were only Murray's hand. It didn't matter to me. I was super excited. I couldn't believe I was actually having my touch on a Sesame Street production. It was a cool experience for me. During the end of the shoot, I actually got to talk to Kevin, Matt, Joey, and Leslie more. They were super impressed with my Gonzo replica puppet. I also got to show them several of my own original character creations, like Sam the Ham. They were super impressed and told me to keep on going. I actually had the privilege and the honor to try on Elmo. Matt Vogel pretty much explained to me that trying on Elmo was like driving either a limousine style or a very fancy car. Trying on Elmo would be the equivalent of someone always wanting to drive a Lamborghini or some fancy car, and he wasn't lying. Elmo was a smooth ride. I could also feel that bar that's right in the middle of Elmo's like head, where if you push down on it slightly, that's how Elmo's able to do that kind of like look up or thinking type of thing. I was puppeteering and maneuvering Elmo. I actually said, "Hello, everybody." Jokingly, Kevin said, "All right, give him back to me before you take my job." If you take anything away from this video, never be afraid to ask. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. Leave me a comment below letting me know what is your favorite Sesame Street character. I would love to know. And if you guys have enjoyed this puppet related video, don't be shy to go check out the next one right here on the screen. I think you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you over there.